Hi, I am Jenny. Oh, yeah, talking to you about some nuggets and things. Today, we want to talk about some things that we might want to avoid from time to time, and that's fear. Oh, my goodness, fear. Oh, the things we're afraid of. And we all have something that we're afraid of at some capacity, some level in our life, the fear. Sometimes we have the fear to love, fear to go outside, the fear to embrace, the fear of heights, fear of dogs, clowns, whatever that fear may be. Whatever that fear may be, it's relevant and it is also yours, right? But then again, we understand that fear always will keep us away from so many great things that stand behind the fear. Because the fear stands in front of you and says, you cannot cross this boundary, you cannot cross this area because this is standing in your way. But you also know behind that is your gift, is your blessing, is your victory. But I can't get past this. I'm frozen right here because of the fear. And what I had to do with my life, this is for me. I had to look at some of the things that I feared. And I had to find ways to conquer those things so that I can be able to go into any place and say, if it's meant for me to have that, I don't want this standing in the way, whatever it may be. My mother, and you'll hear me talk about her all the time. She was my jewel. My mother, she had some fears. And she tried to pass them down, but I just refused, When you get in my mama's car, she pushed that button, boy, and everything goes on lock. Bam, 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 bam. You walk in her house, she comes behind you, she locks the door. Click, click, click. I'm like, Mama, what is it? Let me get in the door first, right? Because I'm trying to get in. She's trying to lock the door. She says, because people are something to people. I said, Mama, you watch too much TV. I say, what you're watching, what you put in your eye gates, because all these gates we got, them ear gates, them eye gates, that mouth gate, what you put in them ear gates, them eye gates, what you're watching and what you're listening to will keep you in fear. Will make you always be able to, I don't know, I would, but, the hesitation, that pause. Sometimes that pause will make you lose the best thing you're supposed to have. And I remember one day, I had a dream. There was a baby outside crying. And I love babies. So I wanted to get this baby. I heard the baby crying. I went down the steps to get the baby. And right in front of the baby at this tree was a big old snake. I mean, it was a big one too, like one of them boa constrictors. Ooh. And I'm like, and I hear the baby crying. And I'm looking at the baby crying, but I'm seeing that snake. And I'm like, dang, I need to get that baby. Because I love me some chilling. But I'm like, that snake? Mm-mm. And so I hesitated and I stopped. The baby's crying. That's my gift. But that snake is my fear. So my hesitation stopped. And I was like, oh. And then something spoke within me. My spirit said, look at the snake again. And I didn't want to, but I did. And when I looked at the snake the second time, I realized the snake was pink. I said, I've never seen a pink snake before. And I kept looking at the snake. And then I realized it was pale, right? But why is the snake this color? I said, look again. And I looked again and I realized the snake was dying. Had lost the blood, which means lost its fire. It was dying. And I was standing there allowing this dead snake to stop me from getting my gift. And I said, I understand. Sometimes the thing you fear and the reason why you fear it isn't all that you think it is. When you realize, the most powerful thing, that you have power and dominion over any and everything. You really do. We don't use most of our power. They talk about, how much of our brain we really actually use. We don't give it all we're supposed to. Somebody says to me sometimes, oh, you think you're so smart? I said, oh, contraire, sweetie. Contraire, I'm not smart. I'm intelligent. I'm intelligent, you know. But I realize that even that, I'm still not using all that I'm supposed to use because we are gifted with so much knowledge, so much wisdom, and yet we only use like, parts of it. And which means we lose so many things that we should have because we have the ability to know those things, to be able to go to those things and receive those things if we would just use what we got. And then when I said that, I said, oh, now I know. So I went on a journey facing my fears, things that I fear. And I'm still doing it now. I mean, I haven't arrived. Facing my fears, a snake. I started going out and said, okay, I'm getting ready to go. I cut grass. I love to cut grass. They said this woman was, I love cutting grass. And so at our building we had, I would go out and cut the grass. Get on the ride mower and I would go around there. I'm riding that mower, got my headphones on, I'm jamming, riding that mower. I love it. Oh gosh, I love cutting grass. I said, woo, I said, I know. But it's me, I do. So I'm cutting the grass and I'm thinking to myself, normally when I'm riding, the mower, it's out in the country area. So you're going to see some snakes. I see some deer, some bear. So I'm like, I'm not worried. I'm not worried anymore about the snake. I'm cutting my grass. And if it will respect me, I will respect it. Right? And so I started going out and not worried about every time something moved. What's that? Because now I realize my goal, my journey, my path is whatever I have to do to get what I need in life, whatever stands in my way that used to scare me, I will now overcome it. And I do. And I did. And so when a snake came, I looked at it looked at me, and it kept going. I said, there we go. There we go. And then other insecurities I have, which are fears, I deal with them because I am approached with them all the time. Something that I had to challenge myself on that used to bother me. I had to find ways to now allow that thing that was causing me to move away from what I wanted. Because see, I want to be a winner. I want to succeed. And I don't want to live off of somebody else's fears and somebody else's, hurdles or whatever it may be that they had dealt with. I let it cause me to feel the same way. I refuse to do that. Like I said, my mom was afraid of a lot of things. Sweetest woman you ever could have met. She was afraid of different things. And I was determined I wasn't going to live like that. My mama had to be in the house before dark. And she wanted her house closed down. She came and stayed with me one time, about a month. And about 6 o'clock, started getting dark. She looking at my blinds. I'm looking at her. She looking at the blinds again. I'm looking at her. She says, Jenny, you going to close the blinds? I said, Mama, I don't close my blinds at 6 o'clock. I like to look outside and look at the moon and the stars. And she looked at me and she let it go for a little while. But about 6:30, she couldn't take it no more. She wanted to close those blinds. I let them stay closed. When she went to bed, I opened them blind right back up. I said, I don't like to feel shut in. I'm good, right? I've learned that because my blessings are right there. And I didn't want to stop. And sometimes I started going through those phases where I got to be home before it's dark because I don't want to be out there when it's dark. Then I said, wait a minute, you're getting that mentality, Jenny, stop it. So I started making myself go to the store at 9 o'clock. I made myself have to stay out sometime at 10. I started going to meetings that was at dark because I wanted to avoid ever being in a place where somebody was about to bless me, when something was about to happen, when something was coming my way and I could not get it because I allowed myself to say, this is a restriction for me. This is a boundary for me. I will not be in a box. I don't like boxes. I don't like to be boxed in. I have to believe that there's something great for each and every one of us. And we can have it. But we cannot allow fear to keep us from it. Whatever that fear is. It could be a person, place, or thing. Whatever it is, we must conquer it. Because when we conquer it, we can have greater. And we want the best. Am I correct? So today, whatever your fear is, look it in the eye and say you're going to win. I'm going to win because you are built like that. You're built like that. Thank you so much for your time, your presence, and hopefully you're going to like this video. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do. Be a blessing. Be blessed. And I want to see you next time.